Last amount to Youth Academy Chance Save, we were being knocked out of the Champions League by Arsenal, and we had an okay youth intake. Wasn't amazing, but it could have been worse. Now we're finishing the season off today, and we're hoping to win our second domestic treble in a row. So, can we do it? Let's find out together. Our first game was against Podbeskidzia, and we beat them by 3-0 in what was a very comfortable match in the end. And it makes me wonder just how good our team could be if we played like this every single week. And maybe, just maybe, if we are getting to the point that we will become the unstoppable team like Bayern Munich has tried to become in the Bundesliga in recent years. We then took a Koyachanka and drew 0-0. Don't know why we keep doing this ourselves, but this is a game we should have won. We didn't win, and I'm disappointed. It's a match we need to be winning. We then took on Pogonsretsin in the Puchapowski quarter-final and beat them 2-0. This was a game I was concerned about, but I'm delighted we won because it eases my nerves about both our cup run and potentially what we can do in the league. Could we continue on this run of form? Yes. We beat Lega Vorsabal by 2-0 to get revenge on what they did to us early in the season when they beat us early in the year. And I feel a lot more relieved about this than I want to admit. But we won, and that's what I care about. We then took a Lechia Dines in the Puchapowski semi-final. Smalek with the only goal of the game, and he's starting to become quite a good player for us this year. When he has been starting, so maybe, just maybe, he might become a player we will rely on in the upcoming seasons. He's still only 20. We then took a Budapest and beat them 3-0. Admittedly, Budapest getting a red card in the second half was useful for us, and it allowed our substitute left winger to come on from the bench and get a brace to score his first 2 league goals for us in his career. He'd been doing well for the second team before as well, so he'd got about 12 goals this year, but it was the first goals in the senior team, so I was delighted by how well he'd been doing. We then took on Lechia Dines and beat them by 3-0 to ensure we get another victory to our collection, and we're starting to win without conceding, and I am delighted by that. It feels like we're becoming that team now, and I'm happy about it. We then took on Mieslenica and drew 0-0. They were down to 10 men for 22 minutes before we were down to 10 men because of an injury. And we should have won this game. There's no excuse for this. And once again, our problems up front is costing us points. And I don't like it. And then we beat Lega Vorsabal 3-0 to win our second Puchapowski final in a row. And our second cup in 2 years. So we're starting to like this tournament again, aren't we? That's 5 cups we've won now. And with 5 Super Cups, we've now got 20 trophies in 20 years. I think we're starting to become the team I knew we could all those years ago. We now need to win our 8th league title in a row to complete the League, Cup and Super Cup treble for the 2nd year running. Could we do it? Well, beating Wisla Krakow is a great way to start making sure we could be on the right path to do that. Benecki scoring a goal was great, Podachowski also scoring was useful, and we win by 2-0, so I am happy with how this has gone. Can we keep this up again? Well, we drew 0-0 against Cracovia in the next match, but we won the title because of results elsewhere, so I didn't see the trophy lift this. I didn't think we'd actually won a title until I realised afterwards, oh, we had won a title, why wasn't I shown the trophy lift? Also, that's my former player playing for them. And, yeah. His career went downhill, didn't it? Goodness me. But yes, we drew this game, but we won a title. So, I guess that's a happy ending. But we finished off the season with a 4-0 win over Gonic Subs here. And they're one of the best teams in history in the league. And we've just dismantled them easily. Dennis Naroki getting his first ever league goal for the senior team as well was really good, and it was the nice icing on the cake to ensure we had completed the League, Cup and Super Cup treble. In the end, we won by 6 points, so While it wasn't as comfortable as I thought it would be, it was still a good year. And in fact, the only team that finished in the top 5 last year that didn't get there this year was Cracovia, and they finished in 7th, so it wasn't like they were terrible, even if they finished 18 points away from a top 5 finish. But it was still good either way. We were just unfortunate, I suppose, in that regards, that we didn't have the best of times in normal circumstances. I say normal circumstances that we lost 3 games. This is still a good year, but when you realize what we did last year, this is a massive step backwards, and we dropped about 16 points compared to last year, so it's definitely not as great as it has been in the past. But another league title to our collection. We've now got 10 league titles to our collection, and given we got the cup as well, things are looking very good indeed. In fact, we now look at the league history. That was our 20th season in a row, and that's our first season that we managed and we won the title. The fact we've now won 10 league titles in the top flight, we won the second tier as well, we won the 5 cups, we won the 5 super cups. We've now got 21 trophies in 20 seasons now. This feels like a dynasty that has been built here, and the only thing we need now to complete our dynasty, to complete our work, even though we're already a legend, is to win the Champions League. We need the Champions League to complete the challenge now. And once we complete the Champions League win, we will be there. Unfortunately, when we got to the round of 16, it was our best ever run in the Champions League, but we need more. We need to get to at least the quarter-final before I can really start believing I can win the trophy, but it's one of those things, unfortunately, for us. But still, we look at the review, it's good to see 3 trophies there again. Given we didn't buy anyone, it shows you how good we've been. We sold Kowalski for 5.5 million. He helped his side get to 3rd place, so that was good. That's 10k off the wage bill. We did sell some other players as well. Midura only got a 5th place finish with Lech Poznan. Busek got relegated, so that's kind of awkward. And there you go. The fact that we've had some of these players get sold as well, or just not play for a lot of their teams, says a lot, but I think we've had a good season either way. One of the players that we did sell actually played 4 times for a team that won the second tier, so we've got a situation on our hands where we have some decent players getting first team football now, and I'm happy for them. We had a lot of players out on loan though, and some players will be looking to be in the first team this year. Now, do I throw this guy in the first team next year? I think I might do, even though he hasn't got the best potential anymore. But there you go. I've gotten some of these players who are young, but could be in the first team and has some decent potential. So do I throw them in the first team? I don't know. But we got some young players coming through. We got some young players who are doing things. Why is he playing as a right back? I mean, I'm not complaining. He could be a right back. No, he can't. What on earth? 4 tackling, using it as a right back. You idiots. But yeah, we got some players who are out on loan. We have produced some good talent now. And with all these players here, just hoping to do best and better things, I don't know. It's weird that we can just say, yeah, get better, get some first team football, you'll be fine. I don't know what to do with some of these players. And I feel like with some of these younger talents as well, we have got the potential to just say, go out there, improve, impress, and try and find yourself a new home, effectively, for some of these players, because some of these players are never going to be good enough to be in my team anymore, so I should just move them on. And do I do that with some of these young talents that are coming through that also have value? I don't need to sell, but I could, and that's the scary thing about some of these players. And I don't know, it's weird like that, but we've got the opportunity for ways to just throw these players into the deep end and see what if they sink or swim, and then potentially just sell them on afterwards. But I don't know, it's weird like that. So we won the league, but the board are not happy with the fact that we ended the season in such strong form, which could have taken us to better heights, even though we won the league. It really tells me that the board generally just say, okay, we were really good at the end of the year. Why weren't we this good at the beginning of the year? And I agree. Wolfshof and Legia Warsaw have beaten us 1-0 both times. The fact that Wolfshof only just survived, thanks to that victory against us, says a lot. We drew too many games this year. The first game of the year, we drew against MacLeod, against Krakovia, Progress-Witzin again, so twice against Progress-Witzin, we drew against them. We then went 3 games without a win here. And if we stop dropping these silly points, we'd be good. But we did, and we couldn't help ourselves. At least in the Champions League, we got to the round of 16 for the first time. So now that's a hurdle we need to overcome, get past round of 16, and we'll be good. We won the Powerbalski, considered just the 1 goal in the competition. We won the Super Powerbalski, and we now need to just do even more things here. I mean, the games against RS was really good, apparently, so there you go. The goal of the season was scored by Yazinski. I do not remember this goal, so let's watch it. So Yazinski scored this free kick, and it was a nice free kick. I can't blame him for saying that was a good goal. To think we actually went behind in this game. Unbelievable. I think it was also the only goal we conceded in the entire tournament as well, which makes it even more surprising. Finances. We're actually making 5.35 million in merchandise sales, which is impressive. And it really makes me wonder just how good we could have been if we had the non-merchandise sales get better as better. We made about over $500,000 in non-merchandise sales as well. And we made 48 million in competition prize money, so we're definitely making up the money that we're spending on a new stadium right now. So that's great. How we learned it was this. Only 3 players didn't get a 7.0 rating this year, and that says a lot. Either way though, we are looking good. Novak was the player of the season, surprisingly. Davidovich was the young player of the season. Yazinski with the goal of the season. Davidovich got 46 goals in all competitions this year. Kimmich got 20 assists. And Davidovich got 13 player of the match awards. That's mental when you think about it. Davidovich got a 7.3 average rating. And Smoda got 85 passes per 90. And we broke some records this year. Davidovich getting the 46 goals is a new record by a player in a season. Kimmich's 20 assists was also a record. Novak got 34 clean sheets, which is also a record. And Davidovich getting the 13 Player of the Match awards is also a record for us. History in the making, understandable. It's just easy to say what we are doing good here and why we are really, really good. We just need to do better at the beginning of the season and just never let anyone get above us at any point. I want to dominate from start to finish. That's all I've got to say. Timeline's a bit meh now, honestly, isn't it? We got 900 games in charge. We won the title. We've got a good goalkeeper. And we broke records. So there you go. I will say, though, the fact we've now got 1.5 million followers on social media is great. An extra 500,000 followers is useful. And I think a lot of that has come from our presence in other countries. So we're now getting a foreign fan base as well as a domestic one, which is exciting to say the least. I like to think we can keep that going. But if we can't, then it'll be interesting to see how this goes next year. To nobody's surprise, the board want us to win the league and get to the Champions League proper again. My contract expires next season, but the board loved me, and I think I'll be able to be around for a while now. And yeah, just win everything is what they want me to do. I'll win everything because it's what I want to do. So I've just jumped forward to the end of the Champions League because I want to talk about that. Our facilities got downgraded, and instead of actually upgrading my facilities, the board told me that they are just fine, thank you, as if I had just insulted them by suggesting we should upgrade our facilities. I'm sorry, when does the fact that our facilities are no longer perfect suddenly mean I'm imposing my will on you? I don't care if we're moving into a new stadium. Our facilities are more important. If I don't get my way, I will just walk at the end of my contract. That isn't me just saying I'm going to walk for the sake of it. I will walk if they do not upgrade the training facilities by the end of the season next year, when my contract expires. I will absolutely make them upgrade it, or I will walk, because that is important to me. If they refuse to upgrade the training facilities, I'm just going to go. And I don't care what they have to say. If they want me to stay at the club, they must upgrade the training facilities or I go. They've never said no to me before, so for them to suddenly say no now is very disappointing. But yes, anyway, enough about my rambling there. We have seen some things happen, and we're going to go talk about the other competitions now. Second tier, Wedon won the league. Wisla Block are also going up, so that's 2 of our favourite teams coming up. Wisla Block because they got one of our former players down there, and Wedon because they're one of our best rivals to have. So happy to see them both come back up this year. Odopo went down despite me sending them players, so that's awkward to say the least. And yeah, disappointed to see them do badly, but Katowice went up, so happy days for them, I suppose. But now I'm going to talk about Europe, and Nice won the Europa Conference League. I remember saying how Cracovia did a gritty job to beat Nice in the second leg of the Europa Conference League. I didn't realise just how good of a job it was until now, because of Nice winning that competition. But there you go. Poker Switzerland lose to Tyrrell. Athletic Madrid were the team that got to the final. Tyrrell were knocked out by Aberdeen, which really tells you just how bad of a job that Poker Switzerland did against Tyrrell. Aberdeen were beaten by Athletic Madrid, Nice beat Udinese, and then Nice went on to win the final. So at least one of my Polish sides was beaten by the eventual champions. The Europa League was won by Chelsea, and Villa pushed them to extra time. The Champions League, though, Real Betis won it. Yep, that's right, my parent club, Real Betis, are the Champions League winners. I can't believe it either. Also, Davidovic got 15 goals. He's the top goal scorer in the entire competition. And that's actually ridiculous when you think about it. But there you go. So I was knocked out of the round of 16 of the Champions League by Arsenal. Real Betis knocked out Real Madrid. So that's already a good start. Tottenham, who got to the final, beat Real Sociedad. Liverpool beat Man City. Quarterfinals, Real Betis beat Liverpool by 3-2. Arsenal beat Newcastle. Tottenham beat Bayern Munich on penalties. Dortmund beat Bayer Leverkusen. In the semi-final, Tottenham came from behind to beat Dortmund 2-1. Real Betis beat Arsenal on penalties. And then Real Betis won the Champions League final. And that's not all they did, because Real Betis also won La Liga. As if they've just done the La Liga and Champions League double in the year they've won their first league title in over 100 years. That is madness, and full respect to them. I just don't know why they're suddenly become so good, but I'm not complaining. All I'm going to say is, Hugo Ibarra is officially a club legend for this, surely. He has to be a club legend for that. Favorite personnel? Okay, of course it is. Of course he's football manager. Goodness me. He's won the first Champions League ever for Real Betis, and he's gotten the first league title in 108 years. And he's only a favorite personnel. What does he have to do to be a legend, honestly? So looking at our finances, we've got 169 million in the bank. So my board do not have any excuse to not upgrade the training facilities. We've also got 44 million in the transfer budget and 1.6 million in the wage budget. If I wanted to change this a little bit, I could make it like this. That's a lot of money we can just splash out on players if we really wanted to, but I'm not going to. Anyway, I am going to end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video, and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. Am I overreacting by declaring that I will resign if the board do not upgrade the training facilities by next year? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on that down below, but what would you do in my position if you got told that the training facilities are just fine where they have been downgraded? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below, but anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.